Oh, okay.
Um, she's been
I mean,
she's
do
dated.
you get to say yay or nay to these people, or is it like my
This
way
was
or the highway?
this was before me.
Okay.
So you don't theoretically you don't get to
Vote.
say who your partner can or cannot date. You can say I'm not comfortable.
Okay.
Um, like I cannot date you if you are dating this person, but you can't really stop somebody from dating them. But
Okay.
it hasn't come to that, and we talk about everything. Like so far, it's just been like we do we want to engage with this person sexually? Do you want to like we meet somebody at a party and like do you want to like how do we both feel about this person?
Okay.
Uh,
So,
and
can you say to her, "Hey, no back entry stuff. If you're gonna go messing with other dudes, the back end that's mine. They get the rest of it, but I get the back end." Can you say stuff like that and it stick?
I I I think I can like I would if I wanted to. I
Mhm.
feel comfortable that I could bring that up to her
Okay,
and we would discuss it, but I don't think I would. I don't know if I would bring that up. Like I don't think that's my thing.
I would bring it up. That's probably why.
Uh,
Okay. Now, in the reverse, can she say the same thing to you? Like if you're going to go out and hang out with the boys or whatever that is, and she can say, "Hey, no backside hygienics or no crazy
she
stuff."
would definitely not say that.
No,
She would be ecstatic if the opposite happened.
really.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's been my biggest wingman, like biggest and best wingman.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. Good for that. Well,
Yeah.
okay. So I guess my question is to you, and Gigi, you can chime in on this, but what would you tell people who are starting to go into polyamory, or they don't know the whole ins and outs? Is there like a click? Is there a meeting that people go to on Wednesdays? I mean, what would you tell people who are just starting in this kind of lifestyle? How would they do it? Like, how do they just like they say, "Oh, I was listening to that podcast, and Mike Mack told me that I could like have sex with everybody. We could be a big family, kind of." Or how would they start
Well,
this?
I, personally, again, everybody's different. It's a spectrum. So,
Mhm.
for example, when you were asking, like, can you do this? Can you do that? It depends on the relationship. If it's more open than it is, polyamory, then you can absolutely. It just comes down to making requests. I feel like at that point,
Mhm.
communication. Hey, I'm comfortable with you doing this, and whatever.
Yeah.
And but that's just it. It just comes down to communication. Don't follow your partner if you really don't want to do it. Like if you don't want to do it, then just
Just
it's
don't do it.
probably yeah. If it's something that's so important to them, then
Mhm.
and I'm just saying like it's probably best for everybody that everybody just separate because otherwise it's just going to
Absolutely.
lead. Yeah, it's just going to lead to hurt feelings and a whole bunch of
Well,
other
yeah. I
negative
mean, we're
aspects.
human. We're bipedal humans. We're gonna get hurt feelings when you. It's like the penguins. When the penguins find their mate, they mate for life, and when that mate dies, they try to kill themselves. They throw themselves against rocks. But not today. Not with humans. We want more rocks, right? Is that what we're saying?
What more rock? I don't know about that. Um, I definitely
Down
found
on the rock.
I found Reddit very informative.
Okay.
There's tons of stuff on Reddit, and there are actually meetups like poly or whatever meetups that
Okay.
you can attend, and some of them are on a Wednesday.
So
Uh,
tomorrow on a Wednesday, we
yeah,
used to just call them
absolutely,
fuck
and
sessions.
obvious was that.
I said we used to just call them fuck sessions. We're just all going to get over. We're going to have a big old fucking
Well, no, you
notch.
literally like they're literally like support groups
Oh,
where you discuss problems that you may be having, and like it's just like an in-person Reddit meetup where you
hmm.
can
The 12 steps
discuss
to
excessive and
polyamory. I love that.
it's something
That's
like that, yeah.
yeah. Well, shit.
But obviously it depends on where you are. Living in LA, there's quite a few of them here. If you're in like Tucson, I don't know, there's probably going to
You're
be
not
a
gonna
lot
find any
less.
in Idaho.
Or
There's a lot of hoes.
Idaho, yeah, you might have to drive for a couple hours,
Go
to
past
find.
Utah. Keep going. No, I
Uh,
get you. I mean, and Gigi, I mean, what would you say about this? Because you were almost rope doped. and you ran. You escaped it. How did you escape?
I escaped swinging. No, I'm just kidding.
Believe it.
Again, it's just communication. I felt like I was being manipulated towards the end.
Yeah.
Again, I was willing to bend and break and sacrifice a lot of my boundaries, but she
Mhm.
was never willing to respect my boundaries. And she also kind of gaslit me because, again, me expanding my boundaries, willing to explore certain things,
Mhm.
a lot of things were like thrown in my face, like, "Oh, you don't have a problem with being polygamous. You have a problem with me having sex with the guys." It's like, well, I even got over that. It was more again the connection. So, like, for example, like the whole romantic aspect of like again, like you wanting to go out on a date with somebody and like
Mhm.
spend the night and time and all that with them. To me, again, like if there's no boundaries that separate me from the other partners, then it's
Mhm.
like I feel like I'm not investing my time wisely. Like at the end of the day, the relationship I'm looking at, I'm trying to build something that's going to last the test of time.
Right.
So like I'm not trying to invest in something and then like 5 years from now, like I've been, now I don't see you as often because you found someone else that like you just happen to enjoy spending more time with because we didn't build like some kind of foundation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I
You
get
feel what
you.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I feel it.
yeah.
Now, I guess I have one last question as we conclude our polyamory episode. Now, guys, so you guys are from two separate sides of the polyamory spectrum. So, Mike, the first question I have for you, or last question rather. Now, I won't say that your divorce had anything to do with your polyamory ambitions, but do you miss your ex, who is not a polyamorous person? Would you ever go back?
I would not go back.
Okay.
I do miss some of the connection and like some of the stuff like we would get up to, and
Mm-hmm.
you're with a person for 10 years, like it's
Yeah.
a like I miss
Well
my
done.
niece, stuff like that. But I it was time. It was time for both of us to uh get on a different journey.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well said. Now, Gigi, of course, I have to ask you the exact same question, but just different.
Can you rephrase the question then? Sorry, I'm
So, for you, do you miss your ex?
oh, do I miss my ex? Okay, yeah,
And would
sorry.
you go back if she would have say, "Hey, I was wrong. Let's try it your way."
Okay, in that regard, maybe the only hesitation there again, I can't necessarily say I still love her because when I look back and I remember some of the treatment that was done, some of
Mhm.
the like basically like the blatant like fuck yous, like when I was having trouble with my mental health during all this, one of the
Mhm.
quotes that ring in my head is "I'm tired of your self-loathing." Things like that. That kind of treatment is hard to look past that. I would tell her like these are my concerns with like the relationship. Like, I don't like this aspect of polyamory or whatever. She would be like, no, you don't have a problem with being polyamorous, because she would throw up again. I'm expanding my boundaries, so I'm testing things, and she would throw things up in my face like, oh well, you have a problem with it when you hooked up with so and so. And it's like,
Oh,
I understand, but I also like after hooking up with so and so realized that I don't want to be doing that at
right.
all. You know what I mean?
No,
So
understandable.
I felt like I was being exploited and then like kind of like manipulated all at the same time. And like people were like, because when you end up in a situation where you're, I guess in a sense, she was forming a polycule, now it's like you're only out. So like it's like 3-on-1, like you're
Mhm.
wrong, we're right. And I'd be like, well,
Mhm.
these are my concerns with the relationship. And she'd be like, no, that's not your actual problem. I'm like, I'm
Oh,
literally telling you what my problem is. So like with
she's a
that
narcissist.
regard, very much so.
Yeah.
With and in that regard, I don't think I could actually forgive her, even if she was like, "Let's go ahead, focus on everything. Like our relationship when it was monogamous was really good. Let's just go back." So I don't think I could because like of all the treatment, that's the terrible treatment that she did.
Mhm.
I just I can't find myself forgiving her and wanting to be with her.
I see. Interesting, guys. This has been a very interesting conversation of which we just called it like fucking a lot of people on a Wednesday or a Thursday. People are
Hmm.
calling it and defining it as something completely different.